What does it mean to be the keeper of your people's legacy, the protector of identity when powerful interests try to erase everything you are? Imagine fighting by lamplight, with little more than letters and the will to persist, against government policy designed to dismantle your community. This is the true and deeply human story at the heart of The Night Watchman, where ordinary lives collide with extraordinary resistance, illuminating the cost and power of fighting for home. Welcome, Being and Beyond viewers. Today, we journey through Louise Erdrich's Pulitzer-winning novel, The Night Watchman, a masterwork blending history and heart, community and conflict, as tribal members fight for their survival against the U.S. termination bill. Erdrich's storytelling deftly unpacks generational trauma, love, resilience, and the unbreakable thread of hope. This audiobook script unfolds every chapter in rich detail, drawing out the lessons and meanings that make this novel profoundly unforgettable. Chapter 1: Thomas Wajhashk, The Night Watchman. It begins in 1953 with Thomas Wajhashk working the graveyard shift at the Turtle Mountain jewel-bearing plant. Thomas, based on Erdrich's own grandfather, is both the night watchman and the Chippewa tribal chairman. His nightly solitude provides time for reflection and action. Haunted by memories of boarding school, especially the ghost of childhood friend Roderick, who died from tuberculosis after brutal punishment, Thomas takes up the fight against House Concurrent Resolution 108, a federal bill that threatens to terminate the tribe's sovereignty and erase their land rights. Through his letters and the quiet work of night, Thomas becomes the physical and spiritual guardian of his people's future. Chapter 2: Patrice Parenteau's Burden. Patrice, Pixie Parenteau, is a disciplined young woman supporting her family while her father, plagued by alcoholism, drifts elsewhere. Working at the plant, Patrice navigates gendered and racial prejudice, but resolutely carries on. Her driving force is her missing sister, Vera, who left the reservation for Minneapolis and vanished. When no one else can bear the risk, Patrice sets out herself to rescue Vera, risking everything for love and loyalty. Erdrich writes her quest as a crucible. Through danger, ambiguity, and the violence of the city, Patrice's journey binds together themes of indigenous women's vulnerability, familial responsibility, and hard-won courage. Chapter 3: Twin Cities Ordeal. Patrice's journey to Minneapolis is harrowing. She's misled by cab drivers, nearly abducted, and forced into degrading work at Logjam 26, a Paul Bunyan-themed bar where missing women are trafficked in a Waterjack show. Each encounter with violence, whether threatened or witnessed, lays bare the ongoing crisis of missing and murdered indigenous women in North America. Through creative cunning and help from Wood Mountain and Jack Malloy, Patrice escapes captivity and seeks Vera's infant son, revealing the devastating effects of poverty and exploitation. Each chapter is tightly woven with suspense, grief, and the healing power of solidarity. Chapter 4: Turtle Mountain Community. Back on the reservation, collective bonds sustain daily life and resistance. Thomas, Patrice's family, Wood Mountain the boxer, Millie Cloud the scholar, and Janet the spiritual matriarch form a web of kinship interlaced with humor, tradition, and mutual support. Erdrich spotlights the resilience and adaptability of the Chippewa, blending daily routines, plant work, boxing matches, communal meals, with activism and organizing. Characters strategize, host meetings, write letters to Congress, and prepare for a hearing that will decide their fate. Even amid hardship, the rituals of love and celebration persist, grounding the fight in shared identity. Chapter 5: Millie Cloud Scholarship. Millie, a graduate student at the University of Minnesota, researches the legal and historical implications of the termination bill. Through Millie's academic lens, Erdrich tackles the complexity of policy and the bureaucratic language used to justify erasure. Millie collects stories and testimonies, providing crucial evidence for tribal resistance. Her arc spotlights the importance of representation, education, and documentation, showing how scholarship and lived experience together fuel activism. She bridges generational knowledge, bringing the voices of elders and youth to Washington. Chapter 6: Wood Mountain and Interwoven Lives. Wood Mountain, a passionate young boxer and Patrice friend, seeks both self-worth and belonging. His subplot, preparing for matches, caring for Vera's child, and navigating rivalry with Lloyd Barnes, reflects the larger struggles for respect and recognition. Wood Mountain's complex relationship with Patrice and Vera explores themes of love, sacrifice, and kinship. These chapters unpack masculinity, vulnerability, and the pressure to protect loved ones in a world filled with danger. Chapter 7: Ritual, Spirit, and Memory. Erdrich infuses the narrative with Ojibwe spirituality, rituals, dreams, visits from animal spirits, revealing how tradition and the unseen world shape the characters' decisions. The Ghost of Roderick, visions of wolves, and commune with elders reinforce the story's layers of history and identity. The supernatural is a guiding force, comforting, warning, and sometimes demanding acts of courage. Each character's inner world is inhabited by memory and myth, providing emotional ballast as bureaucratic battles rage. Chapter 8: Political Mobilization, Fighting the Bill. Thomas leads the community's resistance. He writes impassioned letters and organizes a hearing at the jewel-bearing plant attended by the tribe and BI officials. The community testifies unanimously against the termination bill, sharing stories that blend personal pain with legal logic. Senator Arthur V. Watkins, the bill's champion, is revealed as both distant and deeply interested in issues of Indian blood, typifying the reductive view of Native identity in American law. Through exhaustion, doubt, and persistence, Thomas guides everyone toward the climactic journey to Washington, D.C. for a final stand. Chapter 9: The Journey to Washington. A delegation, Thomas, Patrice, Millie, Moses, and Juggy, travels to the capital. Encountering disorienting urban noise and open contempt for Indian sovereignty. The journey illustrates personal growth, the trauma of displacement, and the enduring hope for recognition. In Washington, they face bureaucratic obstacles and the literal violence of a gun-wielding activist, advocating for Puerto Rican independence, highlighting the precarious place of indigenous struggles in wider American politics. The hearing itself is tense. Thomas has a stroke, almost dying, but his resilience stands for the survival of his people. Chapter 10: Return, Resolution, and Legacy. Patrice returns home changed, reunited with Vera, matured in spirit, yet shadowed by the pain of everything witnessed. Thomas, recovering, continues to guide the tribe with humility and humor. The Chippewa win a key victory. The bill is blocked temporarily, securing their sovereignty and dignity. Threads of romance, healing, and restoration are woven in, allowing for moments of joy amidst a long, unfinished fight. Erdrich closes with hope. Personal and collective trauma are not undone, but the power of community, memory, and resistance endures beyond any legislation. Thematic reflections. Erdrich's chapters do not merely narrate events, they excavate the soul of a people. Key learnings include the cost and necessity of resistance. Legal battles are fought in courts and in lived experience. Every letter, every story matters. Women's stories at the center. The resilience of women, despite violence, loss, and struggle, is foregrounded, lending strength to the entire community. Historical trauma and healing. The community's everyday lives carry the legacy of boarding school, dispossession, and generational wounds. Honoring survival is itself resistance. Solidarity against erasure. The real Night Watch is collective, not individual. Victory comes from unity, shared sacrifice, and the unyielding refusal to be erased. Remember, in The Night Watchman, Louise Erdrich teaches that history is made in quiet hours, in the courage of ordinary people and the bonds that keep them whole. To defend what matters calls for vigilance, hope, and love. Each watch, each letter, each act preserves the soul of a people.